The island of Soldor is filled with a lot of amazing locations to look at, like the station, the mountains, the docks, and even the sheds. One morning, Sir Topham Hatt came to make an announcement to the engines.
An important visitor is arriving on the island today. He is well known as a famous artist and will be painting something based on our railways for everyone to look at.
The engines couldn't believe what they were hearing. A famous artist coming here to Soldor? From the sounds of things, it definitely wasn't going to be like the previous artist who Percy had to deal with a long time ago.
Gordon, you'll be using the special coach and picking him up from the other station. He will be expecting you to be there.
Yes, sir!
And as for the rest of you, please be on your best behaviour and do as you are told.
The engines promised him they would, and Sir Topham Hatt drove away to meet the visitor at his office. Then the engines started to question what the artist would be painting. Sure, it'll be me. How can he not paint an engine with the shiniest coat of red paint in all of Soldor? Rubbish! There is no way in Sir Topham Hatt the artist would just choose you out of all of us. Oh, really? Then who do you think he would choose instead? Well, I don't think there's a contest at all. I'm sure he sees someone or something he likes and paints it off of that. Pretty simple, really.
Thomas is right, James. I say we just do our jobs for the day and just let the artist be. No matter what happens, I know we'll be pleased to see how the painting goes in the end.
James didn't like that at all. He loves the attention he gets and thought having a famous painter would do the trick and grab even more attention for his shiny red paint. When he was at the station picking up some passengers, Sir Topham Hatt was waiting at the platform for the special visitor. There was a gate lined up so the passengers didn't go after him and cause some serious damage. Just then, Gordon's whistle could be heard, and pulled up right next to James. And walking was a face that many of the passengers clapped and cheered really loud. There, standing on the platform, shaking Sir Topham Hatt's hand, was Bob Ross. He was a famous painter on television and would paint like no other painter would do.
Welcome, Mr. Ross. It is such an honour to meet you. My daughter and I have been watching your show on the TV hundreds of times, and you're definitely my favourite artist of all time.
Why, thank you, Mr. Hatt. And please, just call me Bob. It's quite an honor to be here, too. From what I've seen so far, I know this island will be the perfect place for my next painting.
Indeed. Why don't we walk into my office and we can discuss what catches your attention?
So the two left the platform to discuss what the painting can be, leaving James speechless. So that's the artist who's going to paint one of us? I can see how he's famous with that afro and soft voice he has. But how is it possible to even get his attention and paint me? Oh, come on. Get your head out of your tender, James. There is no way he will pick an engine who would do nothing but boast about his paintwork and complain about what he doesn't like doing but has to do it anyway. And besides, I am the fastest engine on the railway and the one who dropped him off here anyway. Now that's what happens when you work hard like a proper engine. James was going to say something back, but then it gave him an idea. If I work hard all day doing all the jobs that need to be done, then perhaps that will make Bob Ross want to make a painting of me instead of Gordon or anyone else. And he left the station in a rush with his coaches, leaving Gordon worried knowing that something was about to go wrong. Oh, the indignity! This shan't be good. And indeed it wasn't. After James finished dropping off the passengers to each station for the morning, he started to do other jobs right away. he went to the shunting yards and there were trucks all over the tracks. If I put all of them together, then I won't have to take many trips and just get it done right away. So James immediately shunted all the trucks together as planned. And in no time, there was a long line of heavy trucks that were going to the docks. He coupled up to the front of the trucks, and he started to pull them. His wheels slipped on the rails and wouldn't move at first, but after he tried even harder, he was finally moving. What the? What? Where are they? Hey! I was about to shut those trucks separately! You can't take all of that at once! But James didn't hear as he was far away from him. James continued to pull the trucks as hard as he could. His face was as red as his paintwork, but he didn't notice as he was too busy getting the job done for Bob Ross to use him as his next painter. Then there was trouble. Gordon's hill was up ahead and he knew he had to go over it no matter what. So he picked up speed and tried to go up the hill, but the heavy trucks were holding him back. Come on, just a little effort is all I need. But he didn't get any of that. Instead, the couplings broke and they went backwards down the hill. Oh no! Because of both the hill and how heavy they were, the trucks were able to go super fast and were heading for trouble. Up ahead, there was Percy waiting for the signal to turn to green so he could drop off the mail train to the post office. Just then, he could see the trucks towards him. He blew his whistle as loud as he could so he could go to the other line, but it was too late. Trucks and mail laid everywhere. Percy was in serious shock at what just happened. James finally showed up to see the disaster. Oh my God! What have I done? If Sir Topham Hatt and Bob Ross sees this, then I definitely won't be in the painting! James should have thought about saying it in his mind, because on the other line was Gordon with the special coach. He came to a complete stop, and both Sir Topham Hatt and Bob Ross walked out to see the disaster.
James the Red Engine, care to explain to me what happened here?
Yes, sir. I was so worried about Bob Ross not choosing me for the next painting that I decided to take all of these trucks to the docks in one trip, and they got away from me while I was trying to go up the hill. But now I see that my idea just became a complete disaster. Ha ha! I knew you were going to do something ridiculous over a situation like this!
You stay out of it, Gordon. Let the adults talk.
Sorry, sir.
Anyway, now that you told me the truth, I want you to clean this massive mess up of yours.
Yes, sir. I'm on it, sir. So James collected Rocky and the cleaning crew to help fix the wreck. And in no time, everything was back on track as if nothing happened. Edward and Thomas were gonna help James take the trucks to the docks in a bit, and Bob Ross walked up to him to speak. That was very useful in what you did, James. I've been exploring around the island all day today and didn't see anything like this before. It's given me an idea and will be doing it once I get back to my hotel room. I think after fixing your mistake, you should be credited to the railway.
Oh, thank you, sir. I mean, Bob. But I'm already accredited to Sir Topham Hatt's railway. I just forget sometimes and just love showing off in what I can do with my red paint.
And they both laughed until the two engines showed to help take the trucks with him. The next day, Sir Topham Hatt came to the sheds with something in his hand. The engines immediately knew what it could be and couldn't wait to see it.
Well, everyone, after what Bob Ross himself saw during his visit here yesterday, he came up with a great idea and immediately worked on it, and I got to say, it's a keeper for sure.
Then he showed the engines what Bob Ross painted, and they were surprised by what they saw. It was a painting of Sir Topham Hatt with the steam team themselves smiling at them back.
He told me that what he saw in you working extra hard and proving how useful you are on the railway, he knew that there are no competition and appreciate what you do best for me. I will be hanging this up in my office as a reminder that we have a talented artist on our railway and wasn't a serious critic who would talk bad things about our railway.
All the engines cheered, including James, who now knows not to be a complete show-off in front of a famous artist or person, all because of his splendid red paint.